This is the template method pattern. It works. But what happens when some things need to vary together and other things need to vary independently? Let me show you. Let's dive in. Hello world, I'm David Scott Bernstein and welcome to The Passionate Programmer. This code is perfectly reasonable. It's a template method. It captures a common process. Find a room, reserve it, notify participants, and life is good. This is where most pattern examples stop. The pattern solved the problem. Fine. But now the requirements change. Executive meetings notify differently. Customers meetings reserve differently. Some variations belong together, but others don't. So how do we handle that? This is the signal. The pattern isn't broken. The forces have changed, and so our design has to change. Claude, what feels wrong here? The variations are being forced to move together. Yes. How do we fix it? Exactly. If notification changes, why should room reservations change as well? They're independent. We should keep them independent. Some variations want independence, others don't. Here's the move. We separate the variations. Now reservations vary independently. This is the same move we've been making all season. We identify variations, we encapsulate it. Here's some code. This code is flexible, but maybe too flexible. Some combinations make sense, others don't. This is the abstract factory. Now related strategies are grouped together. Abstract factory with strategies is more flexible than the template method. Now related strategies are grouped together. The strategies vary independently, but families stay coordinated. Neither one is better. They solve different forces. Template method says things vary together. Strategy with abstract factory says things may not vary together. They may vary independently as well. Which is the right solution? It depends upon the problem you're solving, as always. Here's some UML. This is the template method. This is where things become interesting. We stop asking which pattern should I use, and we start asking, how do patterns work together? Whenever I want more flexibility than the template method provides, I'll first go to strategy plus abstract factory. But many other patterns combine as well. I can combine command pattern with the observer. If I want to change the interface of a method to a different interface that the client expects, I'd make an adapter. But perhaps I want to check to make sure some of the parameters are not null. So then I'm adding some behavior. Is that a proxy adapter or an adapting proxy? And this is a challenge for working with patterns together. We have good names for the forces of individual patterns. But as soon as we start adding patterns into a design and work with multiple patterns, the names become hard to articulate because new forces are revealed and resolved when we add and work with patterns, more than one pattern together. So, what do we call it? In the end, I don't care. It doesn't matter what we call it. What matters is that it solves our problem. The way we accomplish the pattern can be different, but what we're trying to accomplish, the end result, is always the same. We call it the intent. And the intent of the pattern is where the pattern lives. That's what we like to focus on, because that is the distinction between one pattern and another pattern. It's not the code. It's not the particular way of implementing. And for a lot of developers, this is a revelation. It's a major change, a major shift in the way we think. And it's a good shift because there are a lot of things that work that way, that when we think about the intention, the outcome, rather than the implementation, it gives us more flexibility. This is true when we direct ourselves, when we direct other people, when we direct AI, that we focus on the outcome rather than the implementation details. We don't want to micromanage. We want to have many opportunities to achieve our goals. And we do that by not having a very clear notion of exactly how we're going to do something. We we focus our clarity on the end result, what we want to have happen, and we let the details sort of resolve themselves. We do this in pattern software. We do this in agile software development. We do this in life in general. It's a very valuable technique. If I'm telling you something you already know, no surprise. Lots of people do this, but applying it to software development can be very valuable as well. I've built systems that use combinations of patterns with names nobody has ever written down, and that's okay. Again, I'm concerned about it solving my problem, not about its label. The point is not the name. The point is that it solves and resolves the forces. Here's a test. Notice that we can test selection, we can test behavior, and we can test them independently. Pattern composition increases flexibility without sacrificing testability. Patterns are testable by design. On the left is the template method. On the right is factory and strategy. They both deal with variations. One's more flexible than the other. If I need that flexibility, I'll choose strategy. If I don't want that flexibility, it becomes a liability to me, and I'll use template method. Template method calls out a common process with some varying steps. If that's the true nature of the problem I'm solving, then I want to use the template method. And extra flexibility can only confuse and increase the probability of defects. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is find the design that matches the problem I'm solving. So it's almost the first and most important question that I ask is what needs to vary? And from there, I can see what patterns to use because I see patterns in terms of their variations. We discuss more of this in detail in this playlist, the Discovering Design Patterns playlist. Watch the entire playlist and you'll understand the forces behind patterns. So you'll know how to apply patterns more aptly. Until next time, happy coding.